Hey, so I'm running a little bit behind today, but want to get out my weekly video. So I was watching this Steve Harvey episode. I don't know if it was old or in rerun or new, but there was this issue that he was addressing with a family that was saying that from the time all the kids were very young, that their mother would always have them dress in either the same clothing or the same pattern. And this had been going on from the time, she was with her adult children, that some of them were, from the time the oldest was basically a baby, in all of the family pictures throughout all of the years, and any time it was a holiday and any time they would get dressed up to go anywhere, they'd all be in matching clothing. And even on the Steve Harvey episode, the family was wearing, the same. If she was wearing a floral pattern, then her son had that as his shirt and the daughter had it as a skirt and the other one had it as part of her, hairband, whatever it was, they were all matching in some way. And they were explaining that this was really hard for them. It was bothersome and they didn't want to do this. They didn't understand it. And so putting that story on hold for a minute, it reminded me of something when I was thinking about this week's Torah portion, which is Bechukosai, which means, is the sun look at that, bright sun. Okay, let's maybe turn a little bit. Okay, is that better? I'm not blinding you all now. So, hey, Jessica. Hi, Rivka. So it's Bechukosai, which is my laws. And in Judaism, the laws are broken into three different categories. The category called mishpatim are like the statutes, actually, it might not be statutes, the laws that are the types of things we would come up with ourselves, at least as adults. I think even in parenting, there are the things that you would like to hope your kids will reach the age where you don't need to tell them not to stick the fork into the outlet. They will recognize that's dangerous, where they will understand you stop at a red light because if you don't, there's a car coming the other direction, right? But with young children, those don't make sense. They also seem completely irrational, but hopefully we reach the point where they are rational. They make sense. They are laws of morality, laws that we would come to on our own, hopefully, even if we weren't told to. So those are mishpatim, and we're told, the do not murder, do not steal. Hopefully we'll figure that out because you just shouldn't be doing it. It's not the way to live in a functional society. Then there's what we call edot, which are the things pertaining to the time of the year, right? So that on the seventh day, it's Shabbos, or that we're going to celebrate the holiday of the giving of the Torah, Shavuot, which is, told to us that these have things that make sense, that we're observing these laws that are related to different times of the year, right? Like you also don't usually need to explain to somebody like why, if I tell you next Tuesday is my anniversary, which it isn't, but it is coming up, then I don't need to explain to you why next Tuesday is important to me. It's important to me because it's my anniversary, or it's my birthday, or it's, something that has importance to me. So the chukim, though, which is related to this week's Torah portion, are the laws that really don't make sense to us. They're supra-rational. We do them because we're told to do them. We don't necessarily have a logical or practical or obvious understanding for them. But the Torah portion doesn't just say the laws, right? And it begins with im Bechukosai tilechu, that, which is translated usually if you follow my statutes, my laws. But the commentary actually explains it's almost like if only you could understand the importance to me with these laws. And the word chok actually means engraved, that these are the laws that are engraved into our essence, into our souls, into who we are. That when we get these and we do these and we connect to these, because that's what is asked of us and because that's what's wanted of us, even when we don't necessarily understand it, even when it doesn't necessarily make sense to us, that's how we connect on the deepest level. And so what was really interesting with with this Steve Harvey episode is that at the end, when they're all on stage and the mother is trying to explain why she has this bizarre thing she does with dressing her kids the same way, and she can't even really explain it. She doesn't know. It's so important to her. And she is trying to express that fact to them. They then show that at the last family picture, she had said to them, I think maybe it was, they went back, they met with him after the story was told, but she had agreed on stage that the next family picture, everybody can dress however they want. She won't require anything of them. She won't demand it. She won't guilt them into it. And then they showed that family picture and everyone is matching. And they were matching not because they had to be, but because they recognized how important it was to her. And they love her. And so they wanted to do it because it was important to her. And that's why it says, Im Bechukosai telechud. Like, if only you would follow these and walk with me and with them and engrave them onto you. And this is the way you connect to me, not when you would come up with it on your own, and not when you would do it because it makes sense to you or because the timing, has relevance, but because I'm asking you to. And, that's ultimately what relationships are about. And when we recognize that if I love you and I care about you and I want to connect to you, then, if something's important to you, therefore it's going to be important to me. So with that, my kids just came home. Have a great Shabbos, a beautiful Shabbos, and hello, all of you. Oh, Shosh, wow, hi. I was just thinking about you actually the other day. Okay, have a